Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to another video from TW White & Sons Mazda. We have got here a really special car that we've just taken in part exchange. This is a 2019 on a 68 plate. I believe it was a January or February 19 car. A Volkswagen Golf. This is the 1.5 litre turbocharged petrol engine. Finished in this wonderful blue with a light interior, which you don't see a lot of, to be honest. Car has covered less than 60,000 miles. It's a two-owner vehicle. We took it in part exchange against a Mazda CX-5. The previous owner had had a CX-5 before. I'm sorry if I start talking really quickly. The rain is just about to start coming down, but we were very keen to get the car advertised and online as quick as we could. So yeah, customer had had a CX-5 previously, decided they wanted to go back to another one. They purchased this car through a Volkswagen dealer, I think in 2020, something like that. The car was about a year old at the time, and it's in absolutely wonderful condition. Car's on the way to approaching 5 years old, so it's just a little over average mileage, but it's got a good history behind it. It's due to be serviced before it leaves us, which we'll do. The 1.5 engine's incredibly clever. It's got lots of features on it to help with efficiency and emissions. So it has the ability to run on 2 cylinders if you're very gentle on the throttle. At that point, your miles per gallon goes through the roof. And it's also got what a lot of manufacturers refer to as glide mode, where the engine stop-start can actually cut in as you're coasting up to a junction. So if you don't have your feet on any of the pedals and the engine's up to temperature, and the engine actually cuts out whilst you're still driving, but you still have steering, brakes and everything else you can drive as normal. Yeah, it saves you even more fuel. So very, very clever technology behind it. It's very, very gutsy, and it's twinned with Volkswagen's DSG automatic gearbox, which if you've driven a DSG before, you know how good they can be, and if you haven't driven one before, they are lightning fast changes. They have a very complex system in them, but I don't fully understand, but it's effectively 2 clutches, and if you're in 3rd gear, the other clutch is getting 4th gear ready, and it means that the changes are absolutely seamless. And it's a 7-speed gearbox in this car as well, so actually if you're on a motorway and you're in 7th, it's very frugal. It's not using a lot of fuel, and not in high revs or anything like that. Specification is very nice. Just take you around. I'll show you what I can. And these have a badge on the back, which you push up, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you've got a really good sized boot. You've got rear sensors on this car as well. And yeah, no evidence of there ever being an animal or a smoker in the car or anything like that. It's in lovely condition. It's been very well looked after. And in lovely order. Put the boot down. You've got those sort of chrome outers there that look like exhaust outlets. They're not, but they look very smart. You've got these lovely diamond cut alloy wheels. There is one very small mark on, I think, on one of the wheels on the near side, but other than that, they're in lovely condition. And then if you come through to the back of the car, you get the first glimpse of that lovely light interior. Now, we very occasionally see a light interior, but it's typically on a leather car. It's really nice to see a light cloth interior, very nice indeed. And they've got a sort of suede insert in the centre there, which you can see it's been vacuumed, which is what the lines are. It's not stained, but in lovely condition, as are things like the door seals. You do have a big panoramic roof as well, which you can see. Go to the front, and it's the same story in the front of the car. You have these lovely cloth light seats, which are in lovely condition. I don't know if these are aftermarket. You do have heated front seats, but that looks like that might be an aftermarket install rather than a Volkswagen one. But I had it on the way down here. It worked beautifully. I'm going to jump in the car, and so turn the car on. You'll see. Oh, there you go. You can see there. 57,400 miles. Just going to get the car on so you can see the display and everything. Make sure the radio doesn't come on too loud or anything like that. You have all your trip computer information and everything on the centre display, which you can muck around with. You can go into things like your navigation data if you go into that, your audio options and everything else too. It can all be displayed on that centre screen. If you decide to have it, you can see there it's coming up to try and connect to a phone. You can go onto vehicle status, tell you things like your range to empty, and things like that. So really clever. It's all controlled from these little buttons on the side of the steering wheel here, but very easy to do, and you can have what information you want in front of you. Got this lovely touchscreen multimedia system. So actually, if you go for reverse as well, you'll notice you get a rear camera. That's on like a little pop-out section, and that's actually in that badge that I was lifting up. That's what I was looking for when I went for the boot. So as you look it out, the Volkswagen badge pops out, and the camera's tucked away in there. And you have front sensors on the car as well that you can see from the optical sections at the front and the back. You've got DAB digital radio on here. If you you go into all the systems on the car, you've got integrated navigation, hands-free phone, everything that you'd expect of a modern car. Got your air conditioning down here. You just set your temperature, that's where you're going to send your air and everything else. That gear stick, it's synonymous with DSG, they all have the same shape shifter, but you've got the option to have it in manual, so you can see down there you've got a little plus and the minus, and then behind the steering wheel here you've got paddles to be able to shift up and down, and like I said earlier in the video, absolutely seamless gear changes. You've got a driving mode button down here as well, so if you press that you get a settings screen up here, so you might want to go for the sport setting for example, and you can start tweaking things like throttle response and things like that. If you go into the individual mode as well, I'll come up to that and show you in there too. You go into the individual, you can actually tamper with what you want, so you might find that you want the steering weighted as normal, but you want the drive select to sport, and you can go through and just play with the system. It's really nice that you can sort of tailor it to how you want as well. Do you have an electric handbrake? You just have to have your foot on the brake, press it down to take it off, keep your foot on the brake, pull it back up to put it back on. Really is that simple. Like I say, that light cloth interior I really like. I think it really works against the dark blue of the exterior. You do have a panoramic roof as well, which is a nice option. The car was really well spec'd from when it was bought new. Just going to jump out. As I did mention earlier, the car is due to be serviced before it leaves us. It's an absolutely beautiful finish on the paintwork. I'm just conscious, I'm looking there, I can actually see my reflection in it even from a good few feet away. The condition of the exterior for a car covered around 57,000 miles is absolutely wonderful. It really is very nice indeed. The paint's got a really nice sort of deep luster shine to it. It's very sort of, it's got that wet gloss look, you know. It's really well looked after. Car will be supplied with a 12-month parts and labour warranty. That's included in the advertised cost of the car. We offer nationwide delivery, so if you're not local to us, we can still get the car to you. And we've a reservation facility on the website where you can reserve any of our cars for £99 as well. If you have any other questions, please feel free to pick up the phone to us. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll speak to you soon. Cheers then.